discuss how to schedule changes for the future in CA4k. This can be useful when you have an event or a change that you want to happen in the future, but you don't want it to go into effect right now. In order to do this, we first need to navigate to the Scheduled Changes window. To do that, click on Control, Scheduled Changes. In order to create a scheduled change, you need to click New and then title your change. Best practice is to title it with something that is meaningful and understandable. That way, when you need to search for it, when you need to find this schedule, in case you need to modify it, it's easy to find. Next, you'll need to decide what device you're going to change. The reader, the input, the relay, or the link. A majority of the time, you'll be using the reader. You'll be changing the reader. Next, you can select the partition filter that you want to change. If you have partition filters set up in your system, you can select an entire group of devices to modify here. You do not have to choose a partition filter to change. Choosing the partition filter will also modify what you see under the Reader tab when you drop that down. Next, you'll need to decide which specific reader you want to change. On a side note, if you have partition filters set up and you have a partition for an entire building, say building A, you can change the state of that entire building using the schedule by setting the partition filter and not choosing a specific reader. In this example, we're going to select our front door, and then we need to decide which field needs to be modified. Again, a large majority of the time, you will be changing the free access schedule. This will change the door from being normally locked to normally open, to be normally unlocked, so that people can enter. Next, we'll need to select the time that we want to go into effect, that we want this to go into effect. If you do not see the schedule that you want in this window, you'll need to create that schedule. You can do that by clicking on Schedules and creating your new schedule here. You can then simply go back and click on the Scheduled Changes tab at the top of the window there. In this example, let's select our Building A 12 to 5 access. Next, we need to change our date and time. You can see the default time here, and there are a couple of different ways to do this. First would be using the drop-down menus. The Sonnenberg meeting is going to be happening on May the 20th, so we can select May the 20th, and this means that this schedule will go into effect on May the 20th at 11 a.m. In this example, we're going to select the 21st, and this schedule will stay in effect until May the 21st at 11 a.m. This would work because we're only giving them access from 12 to 5 on this day. Since this schedule ends, this change ends before this triggers again, this setup would mean that Building A access would change on the front door from locked to being unlocked from noon to 5 on May the 20th, and then the schedule would go away the next day. If you want to get more specific with the times, you can also choose to type this into the window using 2 number for month, 2 number for day, 4 number for year, and the time. and then doing the same thing on this side. We'll change this to the 20th. And we want this to work until 6 p.m. on the 20th. And now our schedule is set to take an effect from May the 20th, 2019 at 8 a.m. to May the 20th, 2019, 6 p.m. You can select your partition group here if needed. Once you have made all the changes that you need to make, click Save, and the schedule is created. While we're here, I want to show you one other feature in CA4k. If you come to your drop-down menu and click the month at the top of this window, it will zoom out to show you the year of 2019. And you can select the individual month that you want to jump to right here. If you click the year again, this will zoom out and show you a 10-year window, so we can actually move forward 10 years at a time to schedule an event. If you click it again, we actually get an even wider window. So this can be useful when you're looking to schedule things into the future as a shortcut way to get to the date that you're looking for. Of course, you can always just type the date in here as well. Thank you for viewing our video on how to schedule changes in CA4k.